Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How are you doing today? I am your planetary defense commander, Star-Lord New Thor 7. One of the worst things about this job is not the pay, although that is extremely bad. It is all the garbage hearts and shitheads who come out on days like this to wish harm and badness upon other people. It's called schadenfreude. They get happiness from other people's pain, and they are the worst of civilization. And I just want to say that I've been covering this accurately and with integrity since the month started. And so there isn't shit anyone can say to me that is going to make me feel any less than I do. I have done a great job, and I will continue to do a great job. And so I'm here to remind you guys that this catastrophic, cataclysmic event is going to last for 5 to 7 more days. And it's going to bring a lot of problems to a lot of areas, including Southern Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and then as it tracks north, probably Pennsylvania as well, who has seen an extraordinary amount of flooding recently. And people say, oh, you're blowing it out of proportion. Well, one of the things I didn't really want to talk about before the storm started, because I was more concentrated on getting people out of the areas that they needed to evacuate. And now we have a lot of first responders having to go in to get the people who refuse to evacuate or the people who are too poor. And I would like my fellow Americans and anybody out there to cut the people who are too poor to evacuate some slack. If there's one thing our Christian nation of Americans hates, it's poor people. And as a Christian and as your planetary defense commander, I stand for poor people, and I love poor people. And usually, a lot of times, they're good people. So I'm just going to ask you, I know everybody likes to judge everybody and find righteousness in people less fortunate than them. But if you could cut poor people some slack, that'd be fantastic. Now, we do have 9 nuclear power plants in North Carolina. So we may have a homegrown Fukushima on our hands. That's bad news, dude. And so when I have been making multiple videos without saying it that, hey, we got big problems. It could be the worst disaster in American weather history. This is what I was subtly referring to. And now that those plants are getting heavy water, we need to watch out, because I don't know, building nuclear power plants on the coast was probably not the best of ideas. As I was stating before, this storm made landfall early this morning. It is now moving at about 5 miles an hour or less. It has moved 12 miles an hour, I think, in the last few hours. I mean, it's moved 12 miles completely. And so it is bringing heavy rain bands far inland to North Carolina. And so the now expected path, as I talked about, I thought it would hit here and scoop like this. That had been my guess the whole time. It's going to do that, but it's going to go much farther inland. And this is the point where it could bring heavy rain and flooding to multiple states that have seen multiple storms that have had multiple flooding problems already. All of this ground is extremely saturated. So this is not, so all the people who are saying like, oh, this is overhyped, or, oh, this is just another nothing burger. That is not true. And that technically all smart people would wait until the storm is over before turning in your report card anyways. Because my record's been pretty amazing. And I'm telling you, this is going to be a horrible storm. But a worse storm that has clocked in at 200 mile per hour winds is Manganahut over in the Pacific. It is dangerous and deadly, as it, is going over the Philippines. And so our oceans are extremely active. Then we have 2 hurricanes. I think it's Helene and Joyce making love out in the ocean. So if you hate hurricane lesbianism, then this is the storm for you to hate. We have Invest 95, which is going to be bringing heavy rain to Texas starting today. Now, Galveston, Surfside, you guys are going to be getting more heavy rains. So it's a situation. I want to remind you that my channel does survive off your donations and contributions. And you may say, hey, Thor, why the hell do we need to keep you around? And well, I want to remind you, your government agencies, and I'm sure all those dudes have health insurance, decent cars, and shit like that. They told you guys that it was going to be a below average hurricane season. Okay? And so then they downgraded that below average stance 3 times. They said, no, it's going to be less than we thought it was. No, it's going to be less than we thought that time. No, it's going to be even less than that. And now you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 thingies in the Atlantic. And I saw people writing today like, oh, the door will shut after like tomorrow, and we won't have to worry about hurricanes no more. Well, that is not my position. That's not my stance. And we need to watch Isaac like a hawk. And then we need to see what is rolling off of Africa. And no matter what, heavy rains are going to continue to increase. So there is a lot going on. And I just wanted to remind people that this is a multi-day event. Just like Harvey sat over Houston for several days, this is going to take a week to exit. And will still be a rain-making beast that brings heavy winds. So now we're going to run down with 497,000 customers now without power in North Carolina. Our buddy at Bobby Storm is in Raleigh, North Carolina, and it started pouring. Saying, shout out and Special Force Gump Lieutenant Dan, fist bump in the air to all my peeps in North Carolina or South Carolina who will be in this. And yeah, there have been reports I've seen of over 13 to 15 feet of storm surge. So if the water surges in twice your height, that is dangerous. And that is why I've been telling you guys to evacuate. And that is why I've been covering the storm so madmanly, because it is going to be bad. And it has just begun. People were saying, oh, this storm is nothing. Dude, we aren't even 10% through the lifespan of this thing. Yes, hurricanes used to last a day or two. Not anymore, buddy. Not anymore. So we got top wind gusts so far at 112, 105, 90. And remember, this thing is just going to sit and rotate with anywhere from 50 to 70 mile per hour winds for a day, day and a half. So it is going to rip up the coast. It is going to rip up the trees. It is going to rip up the power lines. It is going to cause flooding. Yeah, Hurricane Florence made landfall in North Carolina about 3 hours ago. Since then, it's moved 12 miles. And it is dropping heavy rain. Where'd I put the rain thingy? I mean, this thing is, talk about rain bands. Man, that is more like I gotta think of something that's really wet and semicircular. Okay, so yeah, no, this is going to move slowly south, they say. But like I said, at this point, always be prepared for almost anything if you can. And so it's moving slow. It's dropping massive rain. I believe there was a report earlier that, and I always say the sun acts weird, the weather acts weird, and people act weird. So yeah, we had fish bones in our harbors last night, and we've had solar storms like crazy. This brought to us by Philip Poppin. Not the only tropical cyclone expected to make landfall today. So we have 2 hurricane/typhoons hitting land on the same day. That's pretty crazy. And this one is a freaking monster. It would be like a Cat 5, 200 wind speeds. Reported at tops. And yes, earlier I asked Donald Trump to delete this tweet and apologize because I thought he was doing great for Hurricane Florence. And then he started to call the Puerto Rican death totals fake news. And no, dude, I bet 10,000 people died. That is my honest planetary defense commander assessment. And we all make mistakes, and we all should be able to recognize that I make mistakes, and I apologize. So no one is above making mistakes or apologizing. If you believe that there are perfect people who never make mistakes on the planet living right now, then THORNEWS is not the place for you. Northeast South Carolina will face the worst of the weather from Florence. That's debatable, I think, but I'm saying, North Carolina and South Carolina, Georgia, you guys need to be prepared. And then anywhere along the spike, the path needs to be ready for super flooding rains. And I think since it is 5 days out, the actual path of the storm could change. Yes, there's always a chance it could just vanish like a fart in the wind. Nobody thinks that's going to happen. And if it happens, do we really have to prepare for it? No. You don't ever have to prepare for the best case scenario. That's why it's the best case scenario. This was brought to us by a weather deck. This is pretty cool. This shows it moving off of Africa, heading to North America through the oceans. And remember, the fact that it came from so far away and hit where it did is an extremely rare event, although I predicted it months and months ago, just off the fact that Mother Nature hit the Northeast with 4 nor'easters in a month. It seems that Mother Nature's in a pattern for picking on the Northeast for some reason. I would guess it has to do with pressure, inner core, and atmospheric issues. I don't know, but if your mind likes to just think the cause of everything is carbon, then go right ahead. As far as I know, everyone is still free to believe whatever they want to believe, although if you disagree with one of the 2 major parties, then everybody's going to try and crucify you on social media. But as I've been saying, Mother Nature will continue to pick on East Coast. I said that September 3rd. And so, yeah, more reason to think Mother Nature's going to continue to pick on the East Coast. So, I don't know, I do a good job, man. And I don't care who agrees, Please cut people who were too poor to evacuate some slack. Reiterate that. Once again, I want to thank the Cajun Navy and Reed Timmer, those guys who will go out and rescue people. And whether they be first responders of the Cajun Navy, they are all-star Asteroid Fight Club members in my eyes. New Bern has been getting the worst. And yeah, I admit to favoring or highlighting the worst of the doom data 2 to 4 days before a storm hits or makes landfall to help the people on the fence about to evacuate or thinking about evacuating to evacuate so that they don't get stuck and have to have everybody come get them unless they're too poor to evacuate. So for all the people who call me a fearmonger or whatever, man, I'm just here trying to save lives, trying to prevent first responders from having to go in and get people out because they didn't listen to what the situation is. And also, as a major hurricane is hitting the coast and will sit there and possibly knock out a few nuclear power plants, I mean, it's within the realm of possibility. The people who are just talking about nothing but politics today, nonstop, about issues that have nothing to do with this hurricane, man, you guys are just like clones and robots. I don't care which side you're on. Yep, volcano explosion in Chile, and then the one in Mexico has been going off all week. Jack Sillen posted a close-up of the Goes East imagery of Florence in the past few days, so I wanted to step back and talk about the disturbance coming to Texas. Thank you, Jack. We say from Texas. And yeah, we got a potential for a whole lot of rain. Because in my theory, the volcano, you got one volcano here that has been popping off like crazy. And so that adds moisture and heat to the area. You got a volcano here that erupted 2 weeks ago. So that is going to definitely add more chance of precipitation in your future. And there's almost a line there. So it's best to just stay weather aware, man. And always, King of Weather Twitter, and the guy I look to for the best guidance on weather is crankywxguy. It is all written. Exact timing and trajectory of Florence is based on the oblong nature of the larger self-pivoting along not so seamlessly in time. Yet the process is there. A week's worth of weather. Follow the steps 1 through 6. Sometimes he's too smart for my own good. But, and so, like, I don't know. A lot of times it just feels like this, man. So the world is just like, where everybody is like copy and pasting a large group's opinion. And so, I don't know. Thank God I'm a fighter. Sometimes I think I live for the fight. So I'm here. I'm reporting, as I have been, trying to do my job and do it well. Doing it, and I'm doing it, and I'm doing it well. Man, I miss my sense of humor. So thank you, all the cool people out there, and there's still a lot of great people out there, and I appreciate you, and y'all are the reason I keep doing this. But man, I sure get tired of all the keyboard warriors and all the like garbage hearts out there. I'm ready for the good people to take the wheel. All right? Stay cool, and I'll be around. God bless everyone.